Hello, I'm Sara and today I'm going to plan a Greek myth. When I write a story, I like to start with a problem. My problem is there's a mythical creature. You might have a different problem in your story. So on my plan, I have sentence 1 and the word monster appeared. Sentence 2 describes the creature. The creature was fierce, with murderous eyes glaring. In my story, my hero is Perseus. Yours might be someone else. And I'm going to have him charge at the creature. Sentence 3. Perseus charged. And I think I'll keep that a short sentence for impact. For my next sentence, I'm going to have Perseus fall and not be able to reach his sword. Sentence 4. Perseus fell over a rock and couldn't reach his sword. In my story plan, after the problem, the next paragraph is the problem gets worse. Top tip, make sure only one thing happens to make the problem worse. When starting a new paragraph, it is very important to link back to the last sentence of the previous paragraph. The last paragraph ended where Perseus couldn't reach his sword, so this paragraph will begin with him stretching his arm to try and reach his sword. Sentence 1. He stretched his arm, but the monster bit him. Now I've already used monster, creature, so this time I will call it the brute bit him. Top tip, try not to use the same word more than once. Have a variety of language. Sentence 2 is a reaction to sentence 1. So in sentence 2, Perseus prayed to Zeus. Sentence 3 is a consequence of sentence 2. Sentence 3, Zeus sent a lightning bolt. I've already said Zeus, so I'll call him by another term, the omnipotent god. Sent a lightning bolt. Again, sentence 4 follows on from the previous sentence. So sentence 4, the bolt struck the sword, moving it closer to Perseus. The next paragraph is the resolution. At this point, I will add a time connective to this arrow. Several excruciating seconds later. As before, the first sentence of my new paragraph must link back to the last sentence of the previous paragraph. In the last paragraph, the sword moved closer to Perseus, so this paragraph will begin where Perseus picked up his sword. And as I've already said sword, I might call it a sabre. And I'm also going to have him stab the creature through the heart. Sentence 2, as a result, the spell was broken. Sentence 3, there was a savage howl and the fiend was transformed into a boy. It's good to state the feelings of your character, especially in the resolution. So in sentence 4, Perseus was awestruck and relieved. It's good to end a story with some direct speech, summing up the main events of the story, or showing a contrast in feelings for the main character. For example, I want Perseus to begin this story as quite cowardly and end up quite brave. So in sentence 5, Perseus took the boy home and Zeus proclaimed how brave Perseus was. After the resolution, we plan the introduction. Sentence 1 needs to be a powerful opening line which makes the reader want to continue reading your story. So I'm going to begin in the middle of some action. Sentence 1, the boy was dragged away by the beast. Sentence 2 is a reaction to sentence 1. Sentence 2, Zeus was howling in despair because the boy was his son. It's good to have some direct speech in the introduction, which we can then contrast to the speech in the resolution. As you recall, in the resolution, Zeus called Perseus brave. So in the introduction, Zeus will call Perseus a coward for leaving the boy to fight the beast alone. It's also good to have some feelings in your introduction that you can also contrast to the feelings in the resolution. So as you recall, at the end, Perseus was awestruck and relieved. So in the introduction, he will feel, Perseus, ashamed and afraid. The final paragraph that we plan is called the normality, and that means setting the scene. As before, we need to link back to the previous paragraph. I haven't mentioned where this action is taking place yet, so I will add a line to my introduction. Sentence 5, that Perseus took his sword, which he uses later in the story, and crept into the woods to find the boy. In the normality, we describe the senses, what you can see, hear, smell, touch or taste. For sentence 1, I'll describe what can be heard in the woods, which is the screams of innocent mortals being slaughtered. In sentence 2, I will describe the smell, the stench of those rotting corpses pervaded the air. For sentence 3, I'll do touch. As a result of the smell, Perseus pinched his nose and could feel the sweat running down his face. For sentence 4, I'll describe what he could see. So as he was sweating, he dropped to his knees for a rest and could see the blood spattered ground. We just need to link the normality back to the first paragraph that we planned, which was the problem. As the ground was blood spattered, I will have my monster appearing with blood dripping from his mouth. When I have finished my plan, I play around with the words, change the words, add some more links in, and this is my finished result. Teachers, download this plan for a closer look.